Hello everyone, Storm11 here. Today we'll have a little update of the severe weather event that's ongoing across parts of the Ohio Valley, and there's also some severe storms across parts of the Carolinas as well. The pattern does become quiet over the next several days, but it doesn't take too much longer until we will get to early next week, where could be similar to what we just experienced over the last couple of days. The system comes out the Rockies here, maybe they could certainly bring some severe weather chances back in the forecast here. Still a lot of uncertainty out there with this system, but we'll be talking about that as well. Before we get started this video, if you guys like weather related content, you can subscribe to my channel. We do this stuff here all the time on this channel. Plus, we'll be having more updates on some of these topics as well. So definitely stay tuned for more updates as well. I should note right away, as soon as I said that, I won't have any uploads over the next couple days until Sunday. I'm going to be out of town tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and I'll be coming back Sundays. So that's something I should note real quick here. But don't worry, we'll have more updates on that topic for early next week where I'll come back on Sunday as well. So I got that stuff out of the way. Let's look into the watch warning advisory display. And generally mostly quiet here. You got scattered wind advisories across parts of the country out there. You got one in parts of Dakotas, New Mexico, Tennessee, South Carolina, even parts of New York with some wind advisories. We also got winter weather advisories across parts of the New England states. And also, there's a winter storm warning for parts of upper Michigan as well, starting that with some winter weather advisories. Red flag warning for parts of southern Texas as well. And pretty much the biggest story for today is severe weather. That's a tornado watch across parts of eastern Kentucky, western West Virginia, southeastern Ohio, into far southwestern Pennsylvania as well. There's also some severe weather ongoing parts of western North Carolina as well. Let's check out the storm report so far back on Monday. This was probably the last time we'll check out these storm reports. And some of these numbers could still increase. Keep in mind of that. But so far, there has been 37 tornado reports, 51 wind reports, and 24 hail reports. One of those was significant as well. So you have a total of 112 reports out there as well. And you can look into some of these reports down here as well. In these red notes here, that's unfortunately where we had either injuries or fatalities from some of these tornadoes as well. You can stop the video and read some of these here if you want to. And, we only have, from what I could see here, only one fatality out of this event. That's pretty insane there because we had a lot of tornadoes. Unfortunately, there were several injuries out there as well. At least they survived out there as well. Let's move on to yesterday. Yesterday was a crazy day. We have a total of 40 tornado reports, 79 wind reports, and only 6 hail reports. So yesterday was very active, especially across central Mississippi. That's where most of your reports have been out there as well. That's some of it's from supercells, others, most of it was from that big squall line that was rolling through as well, which brought in QLCS tornadoes and also damaging straight line winds as well. And this is so far today. No tornado reports, which is good news. Haven't heard any tornadoes today so far, but there has been 16 wind reports and only 8 hail reports. So not too bad so far today, but then again, there's been some severe weather ongoing. So this is the SPC outlook for later tonight. A little bit outdated here, but they do have a slight risk for severe weather. Actually, 2 areas. You got one over parts of eastern Indiana, most of Ohio, eastern Kentucky, and parts of West Virginia. And there's another one that stretches from parts of northern Florida, southeastern Georgia, into the central Carolinas as well. In the slight risk areas, we do have elevated tornado probabilities. The area with the greatest concern with wind looks to be kind of along the Ohio and West Virginia state border, and hail looking to be more to the north over parts of the Ohio Valley as well. Here's tomorrow, pretty much a low end marginal risk, pretty much along the east coast from summer Maryland to Delaware that goes all the way down to parts of the peninsula of Florida as well. Really, your primary threats is gusty winds, but there could be that very low end chance for a quick spin up tornado as well. Right now, it's not looking to be a too big of a deal day. And hey, look at that, day 3. No thunderstorms forecasted, at least for now, anyway. Let's check out the current environment out there. This is surface-based CAPE, and as expected here at the time of making this video, sun's going down in the eastern U.S., so we do expect these numbers to back off. But there have been some severe storms, which some of them are still going out there across parts of West Virginia and southeastern Ohio. We actually have a couple of tornado warnings in western North Carolina as well. A couple of discrete cells out there, and those will have the better opportunity to have a tornado threat as well. But when you get to the mixed layer cape, similar to surface base cape, just a little higher up, you can see there's still some instability left out there as well. And we do expect these values here to decrease as we get deeper to the overnight hours. Downdraft cape, really, the numbers are kind of on the lower end, but there are some areas above 800 which will be favorable for damaging straight line winds as well. Mid-level lap rates are backing off. Some of the highest numbers have been up around West Virginia, which has been help keeping some of the storms discreet. And then you got low-level lap rates. And there's some pretty elevated numbers out there as well, but that's outside of the warm sector. Star rate of Leslie values are on the higher end, really generally between 200 to over 300 out there as well, which is helping keeping these storms a little bit more organized, and that can also increase your tornado potential as well. And when we look into significant weather parameters, you can see there's actually a level 2 in upstate South Carolina, but I think that's going to be a short-lived level 2. But really, for most areas in the warm sector, it's at least a 1, which that means conditions could be favorable for isolated tornadoes out there as well. So it's not really a big risk or anything like that. If we check out the HER model when it comes to reflectivity for the rest of the night, this model's been really having a hard time reflectivity. It did not do very well today. I'm going to be honest with you, that the HER model did not do really the best job out there when it comes to reflectivity. It's been like that over the last couple of days as well. But you can see here as we get deeper to the overnight hours, you can see here how these storms do begin to weaken as we do back off them instability values. And then you kind of get to the early parts of tomorrow, where we do have a marginal risk along parts of the East Coast. Thus, there may be that potential for strong storms there, but then again, I think the risk overall is going to be on the lower end. You can see there's a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity as well, which may help keep things more stable with the atmosphere as well. So that's pretty much it with the severe weather potential for the rest of tonight. Let's check out some of the long range, the medium range, I should say, when it comes to the modeling. So this big upper level low, the one's been causing all the severe weather, will finally be moving out of here, be moving up into Canada tomorrow. And really by Friday, it should be out of here. But you do notice here, it does come along with some colder air across parts of the eastern U.S. And here comes a reinforcing shot of cold air moving across the Midwest, which it could have some snow with it as well. Not really expecting much wet accumulations, but there could be some lake effect snow going on out there as well, which could lead to some accumulations out there as well. But I think most of it's going to be light. And then what's interesting here is you got the stationary boundary right here. GF has been showing us over the last couple runs, but on Tuesday morning, it's got a stripe here of some mixed precipitation. It's got a mix of freezer rain, snow, sleet, and some rain showers out there as well. But you do notice at the same time, that's partially connected to this low here that's moving across the Rockies, which will help bring in some relief of the drought as well. Unfortunately, it won't last too much longer, though. But you'll notice here, by peak time heating on Wednesday, it's similar to what we just experienced. You got a strong low that's situated in the northwestern part of Texas, possibly some strong storms over to the same areas. But that should be noted that we are still far out. We're still several days away from this event. We're actually 1 week out from this. So don't take this solution here too seriously, because there's disagreements here with the model guys, and that's something you would expect being this far out. But what the GFS is suggesting is pretty much a very similar setup to what we experienced here over the last couple of days. Here's peak time heating on Thursday. It's got a big cluster of thunderstorms moving across parts of the south. But your low is still way back here, though, kind of along the Kansas and Oklahoma border at that time as well. And it becomes a big cutoff low at that point. A 996 millibar low over eastern Illinois. There could be some severe weather in the warm sector, but it's way too far out to say if there's going to be any severe weather or not because we're about 10 days out at this point. But then again, that's just one model, one solution. What does the other model say? Well, let's check out the Canadian model. So you can see how that system comes on shore from the Pacific into the western U.S., brings in a decent amount of rain and some snow in the higher elevations. And this is pretty different from the GFS. It goes much farther north here with the low here. There's actually, I believe, there's two different pieces of energy you got. If I back this up here a little bit here, there's two different systems here. You got one up here that's connected, I believe, to the polar jet stream, if I'm correct. And you also got another system down here in the desert southwest as well. It seems like they kind of failed to connect with each other. But regardless here, even with a far northern track here, there could still be severe weather in the warm sector as well. That's a pretty good low. 989 millibars, that's still a good low. Even moving on to Wednesday here, your lows over southern Michigan, there could still be that severe weather potential in the warm sector as well. And it tries to develop another low along the front, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. And here's the European model with its thoughts, and it's actually a bit similar to the Canadian model. It takes a much northern track here. So here's Tuesday here for peak time heating. For Tuesday, we got a 994 millibar low over in northern Kansas. Doesn't have much convection out there. That may be partially due to a cap in place, but some thunderstorms do finally develop into the overnight hours, as you can see here. As you get into the overnight hours, then at this point here, your lows over southwestern Iowa at that point. And then on peak time heating for Wednesday, your potential severe weather risk could be across parts of the Ohio Valley, maybe down to parts of the Tennessee Valley as well. But then again, that's a little bit of a different solution as well. The European model has this beginning to ramp up again, while the Canadian model not so much with it as well. Well, let's check out the ensembles here, see if it kind of figures things out. Not really, and the European ensembles doesn't have a good agreement with this at all. The numbers you see on here is a model member, and you can see they're everywhere, but pay attention more to the big cluster here, which is situated about right here. It's got some stuff going on down here, but I think that's a little bit mountain biased right there. Your main surface low is going to be up here, not down here. But anyway, you can see here both members are a strong low. All of them actually are below 1,000 millibars. So that's pretty interesting right there. So all members there show a sub 1,000 millibar low moving into parts of the Central Plains. And then as you move on to Wednesday, then there's just a major spread in the guidance here. You go from parts of the Great Lakes, still some members all the way back down to parts of the Southern Plains still. So there's still quite a large spread in the model guidance. So basically these ones back here to the south here are more for the GFS solution. Meanwhile, the ones up here are kind of favoring the European and Canadian model solution. Well, if Europeans almost don't have a good agreement, what's the GFS almost say? A bit better, just a little bit better. It's actually much better agreement here with Tuesday's potential severe weather setup, and it's got a 994 millibar low over the Oklahoma Panhandle, and then again, pretty strong agreement right there as well. And then again, almost every single model member is below 1,000 millibars. Even a good chunk of it is below 990 millibars. So most models agree on this is going to be a strong low coming out of the Rockies. And that can certainly that could increase your severe weather potential as well. And then you move on to Wednesday, then the disagreement really begins to spread out for Wednesday. But the main mean, though, is in northern Arkansas. But you got Bibbers as far north as parts of the upper Midwest, and you still got some members still back in the Southern Plains. So really overall, so what we do know basically for early to mid next week, we know that there's going to be a storm system coming out of Rockies, and it's probably going to be on the stronger side of the system, which is below 1,000 millibars. But the track low is very uncertain here, as what we do know of. But if there's areas I would pay attention to for some severe weather potential over the next couple of days, I know this could be a very large area, but this we got a lot of uncertainty with it. On Tuesday at least, I'll probably pay attention to these areas right in here for Tuesday because timing of it will likely change here. And then as you get into Wednesday, it'll be a much larger spread here, so you got a much larger area on Wednesday. Now, very uncertain as you get into Thursday, but really overall, we'll have to pay attention to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week as well. We probably will have, hopefully anyway, have a better idea on this when I come back here to my house here on Sunday. But anyways, guys, that's all for guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Guys, like this video, hit that like button. If you do like my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. If you guys have questions about this, put a comment section down below. I want you guys questions. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye and have a good day.